You know, I got a question that I want to propose to everybody out there. And it's an educated question because it will actually let you know how much you think you know and the type of illusion that you are under. And the question is this. Number one, we know that when we drive around cities, we drive around towns, we see sheriffs and police cars, right? And I want to start off by saying that no, I'm not attacking the police. I think they have a purpose. I really, truly do. I'm not attacking the police. I'm not attacking the sheriffs. I'm not attacking any of the people who are in enforcement. And I didn't say law enforcement. I said enforcement. Because the majority of the people out there who claim to be enforcement do not know the law. And now we have laws that are unconstitutional. Therefore, they are not laws. And there's an uprising all across this country of actual sheriffs themselves, not deputy sheriffs, but sheriffs themselves, who actually are familiar with the law, and the deputies are not. Just like the regular old police, they're like privates in the army, and the deputies are like privates. They don't know anything. But the sheriffs are actually telling people, you better start protecting yourself. Now listen to me. The question is this. How many of you know that the police or the sheriffs are under no obligation whatsoever at all to protect you? How many of you know that? Now, again, you've got protect and serve, serve and protect. It's written all on the sides of the cars and everything. But did you know? Did you know? I mean, I like to put in the question form, but it's hard for me to talk without bringing forth some type of education because we've been so deceived. Because I know a lot of people are not going to do their own independent research. They're not going to do their own due diligence and go back and research these things to see if they're so or not. It's utterly remarkable and amazing. But I can't help it. I can't help it. I can't help it. But I'm going to go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. The police and the sheriff department, state troopers, no matter what, whoever or whatever you may call them, are under no obligation whatsoever at all to protect you. Self-preservation and self-defense is all about you and not them. And the illusion is that because you have people who are enforcement, that you automatically think you're protected because you see these people driving around all over the place and stuff and look like they're doing something. And then they show up at the scene of the accident after it's taken place. They show up to a murder scene after it's taken place. They show up to a school shooting after the carnage is done. But they're not there to protect you. And under they have no obligation whatsoever at all. And if you don't believe me, check me out. And some of you law enforcement people who listen to me, and I know there's a lot of you that listen, why don't you chime in and tell the people the truth that you are under no obligation whatsoever at all to protect the people? We'll see. We'll see how many of you people think you know what's going on. Now, the ideal of this video is for you to get to the point so you can know rather than being deceived. So you can stop being under these illusions and these assumptions that cause you to actually let your guard down. Because, hey, we get to the point now, you dial 911, you're already going to die because you're already in the line of fire. And you got to understand that self-preservation is your personal responsibility and your personal responsibility alone. You know, over my broadcast, I did this last, what the world calls Friday night. I went over all the scriptures and the instances in the Bible that the Israelites, the Hebrews, actually preserved and protected themselves with armed resistance against any tyranny perpetuated against them whatsoever at all. What makes no difference if it's foreign or domestic. But when you've been raised in the American society, which has an illusion of Christianity that's influencing the minds of the people, they have shaped and coerced our minds a million different ways to where we all have our own personal perspectives and beliefs and ideals, ideologies, and theologies to what we personally think is right and wrong, and nothing could be further from the truth. I couldn't help it. I wanted to propose a question, but I just couldn't help but give the answer. I just couldn't help it. And if you don't believe me, check me out, as I always say. You better start preserving and protecting yourself, because individual liberty, individual preservation is all about you. And you need to start thinking, what kind of man are you if you don't protect your own?